Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Hope everything is going well for you. I just want to get started with today's lesson. It's going to be kind of a short day, which is fine. You will need some graph paper. That part will take you a little bit of time, but the video itself is fairly short. And hopefully it goes pretty smoothly for you. We're going to 942 today, and it is working with inequalities again and how to apply them. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, more systems of inequalities. Review what you have learned about systems of inequalities in lesson 941 by graphing the systems of inequalities at right on graph paper. Carefully shade the region of point that makes both inequalities true. So if you would please pause the video and go ahead and graph both of those inequalities and see what you come up with. Okay, when you're done, unpause it and we'll go over it. Okay, hopefully you paused it and hopefully you were able to solve it. Let's check to see if you're right. Now, I am not going to do the entire process here for the sake of time. Again, you should have this pretty well, but I do want to show this. I would have added x to both sides, and I would have gotten 4y is greater than or equal to, I'm going to switch that to x plus 4, commutative property, just switching the order around. And then you divide everything by 4. And you get that y is greater than or equal to 1/4 x plus 1, y-intercept of 1, and then a growth of 1/4. So it should go something like that. It has an equal sign, so therefore it would be a solid line. The other one, the absolute value, there it really, again, is no shortcut for it, but you should be able to identify that the y-intercept is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it's going to be the v that kind of looks like that. Okay, and both of these have an equal sign, so there should both be solid lines. And then you plug in 0.00, which you can. I know this is kind of weird here, but you could plug in 0, into both of them to see if it's true. Okay, your answer should have turned out something like that. Okay, now what I want you to notice is 0.00 did not work for the first, it worked for the second one. 0 did work for the second one, but it did not work for the, it worked for the first one, but not for the second one. So everything everything below the first one would get shaded in, but then everything above the second one would get shaded in. Let's do it a different color. Let's go blue. Everything above the second one would get shaded in, but the only part that's shaded for both would be the part that you see shaded in there. Okay, so systems of inequalities, again, we are going to go beyond just quadratic, parabola, exponential. It could be absolute value, all those different varieties. Okay. Next problem, very similar to something we did yesterday, okay? So notice that the systems of inequalities below contain the same boundary lines. On graph paper, graph the boundaries for the system on the same set of axes. Then for each pair of inequalities, determine which region is the solution, if a solution exists, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to now pause the video, please graph. Now, again, these are the exact same thing, so with the only difference being the inequality symbols here. So please graph 2/3 x plus 3 and 2/3 x. All of these have equal signs, so it's going to be solid lines, okay? When you are done graphing the lines, don't worry about the shading. When you're done graphing the lines, unpause it, and we'll keep going. Okay, so hopefully you graph them. You should have something that looks like oh, yeah, I have to delete it. Sorry. Looks like that. Okay. So now these two lines, based on these two lines alone, what you're going to do is you are going to try to figure out what parts get shaded in for each one of them. Okay. And so I need you to go ahead and practice plugging in 0.00 into all of these. Be careful. 0.00 does not work there. So if 0.00 does not work, what would be another ideal point that you could use to plug into these inequalities to see if it works? What do you think? My personal preference, if I really had a choice, would be 0, 1. 0, 1 is a decent point because it still does the 0 for x, which cancels out this stuff here. And then it just gives you a simple number for y. So if I had 1 is greater than, again, 0 plus 3, or 1 is less than or equal to 0 plus 3, well, 1 is less than or equal to 3, so therefore that point does work for this one over here. So that would mean everything below gets shaded in. And now here's where we got to be careful here, okay? Does it work for the second one? Well, is 1 greater than or equal to 2/3 times 0, which is 0. Is 1 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. So that point also works for the second one, which is the blue line, which means this part gets shaded in. So the correct answer, the part that gets shaded for both, see, red and blue make purple. All right, see, look at that. You're working on your art skills here, okay? Red, and my wife would be proud. She's making popcorn in the other room. I just hear it. Okay, anyway, hopefully I get some. Okay, so the purple area would be the one that is the solution for the first situation. Okay, make sense? All right, let's try the next one here. Again, 0.00. I'm sorry, 0, 1. So 0, 1. If let's go with red again. Y is 1. This would be 0. Is 1 less than or equal to 3? Ooh, yes, it is again. So it works for this one. So this part gets shaded in down here. Does it work for the next one? 1 is less than or equal to 0. It does not. It does not work for the second one. So that second one would be this blue line here. 0.10 doesn't work. So this part gets shaded in. That means what is the correct answer in this situation? It's this part down here. Okay, do you see how the difference goes there? Okay, so that's a difference in this situation. The bottom part would be the solution there. Okay, now please go ahead and do the third one. So again, on your paper, you can even just make a sketch of the lines pretty quick and shade in the correct region, and we'll see if it's right. Okay, 0.01, let's go for it. 1 is less than or equal to 0 plus 3. Is 1 greater than or equal to 3? No, it is not. So therefore, that would be the solution to the first one. And then let's go to the second one. Is 1 less than or equal to 0? Is 1 less than or equal to 0? No, it is not. So that point doesn't work either. So for this one, it'd be, whoa, wait a minute, this right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is the solution to that system of inequalities? Correct answer is no solution. Because again, we are looking for points that make both inequalities true. These points only make this first inequality true, and these points only make this second inequality true. So therefore, there is no overlap of points that make both inequalities true. Okay, so you've got to be very careful with the symbols. Please do not do any of this. Well, the arrow is pointing this way, so it must be, if the arrow is pointing that way, that means it's stuff to the left. That's not always true, and that's dangerous practice to get into, so don't do that. So just take a second, plug in an easy point like 0, 0 or 0, 1 into the inequality, and that'll take care of things, make things a whole lot easier. Okay, so that's my advice for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Your homework today is 105, 106, and 110. Again, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully it's going okay. If you have questions, please, if you're struggling with the homework and you're getting like a 2 or a 1 on the am I getting this or not, if you are struggling, please feel free to email me, or again, check with a friend, check on YouTube, whatever you feel is easiest. If you're still struggling, please get in touch with me and we can talk and see if we can figure something out, okay? All right, have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you later.